Hello, and welcome to Brassy Business Podcast, where we talk about the good, bad, and the ugly of business owners and what they have done to make their businesses shine. I'm your host, Kayla, and let's talk business. So this week, we are going to be talking with a business that recently made a really big move. We are going to be talking with Kayla and Mandy with the Clothesline Boutique in Gillette, Wyoming. How are you guys?
Good.
Good. Can you just take a minute, introduce yourselves, what this business is all about, kind of the backstory of it?
I'm Kayla Persian. I'm the owner of the Clothesline Boutique. I started this business in 2018 out of my bedroom. And it just kind of started as a hobby. And then, quickly when you have a business entrepreneur heart, it's not a hobby. It easily becomes a business. And then you start, getting business loans, and then it's just like, okay, we're like really doing it now.
We are committed at this point.
Yeah. So a lot of moves to get to where we are now. But without God, I wouldn't be here. So it's just kind of, I guess, like a small portion of my business and how it kind of evolved. But
yeah, for sure. Mandy, can you introduce yourself?
I am Mandy Holcomb, and aka Kayla's sidekick, aka Calm Tour Storm, aka
the right-hand woman.
That's right. I met Kayla quite a few years ago at Black Cat Ball or Rotary Ball or some ball that we had, and I knew right then and there that we were going to be friends.
It's like one of those relationships where you're like, I feel like there's something going on here.
We're both Aries.
Yeah.
So.
Same.
Oh, there's 3 of us. Oh, wow.
This is going to be fun.
Yes, it is.
The energy in the room.
I love it. So
yeah.
you just knew that you two were meant to be friends, whether either of you knew it at the time or not.
Yeah, and I shopped from her from the beginning and loved the style and loved everything about her and her store. So,
and then I cut a shirt for her once, and that sealed the deal.
It did, yeah.
Where were you going? I don't remember.
Oh, I don't remember.
She was going to something, and back, you're familiar when like slicing the shirt across the neckline or like slicing the back of it or like cropping it with a rotary blade was in. She was like, I can't do that. And I'm like, I'll do it for you. She's like, you'll cut my shirt for me? I'm like, yeah. I can't promise I'm not going to mess it up, but I'll try.
It was the Mama Raised a Wild Child.
Oh, yes.
Something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was kind of it.
Sealed the deal.
Kind of a weird, like, how we got together, but it just
this vibe.
All adult friendships are weird in my book.
Agreed. 100%.
But when you find a good one, you keep it.
Yeah, for sure. So you said you started out of your bedroom at your house. So what made you decide to start? Like, did you just have a feeling in your heart, or can you tell us about that?
I get asked this question a lot, and I really should think a little bit about how I answer that so that I have a good answer, because I really don't have a, like, oh my gosh, I've wanted to, do clothing my whole life. Like, I'm an independent person. My history, my childhood, just my life, I kind of was in this, like, you self-protect. And even though my husband is wonderful, like, I mean, when you've gone through what I've gone through, you always have an escape route. Yeah. Okay, so like that is really heavy, sorry, but I'll put it.
It all matters. Yes, it all matters.
So I was working at a modular home dealership. I loved my job. I loved working with the public. But it just got to the point, we had kids, and my husband had a business at the time, and what he was paying a bookkeeper, what I was paying in daycare, it just made more sense for us to keep the money in our own home. And so I quit at Powder River Homes and started working for him. Quickly found out that to be happily married, we don't work together.
Oh, honey, trust me, I get that. I do all the books, and I tell him frequently, get out of my office.
It boiled down to his handwriting for me. I'm like, if I can't read it,
I get that too.
I quit. Okay.
There's certain pens that I will not buy because they're too wide, and all of this stuff just like blends togetger. I get it. I get it.
Like, I mean, my passion just wasn't construction.
Right.
And my passion wasn't working in an office at home. I just felt like I it just wasn't for me.
Mhm.
And we both were okay with that. And then I had a friend at the time who wanted to make jewelry, and I was like, cool, I could like do clothes. And I really don't even know how this like evolved, but it was just this idea and we ran with it.
Mhm.
And after sitting for 8 hours at my kitchen table, stringing beads to make necklaces, I was like, I don't think this is for me. I am very much the person that's like, I'm going to pay someone to make that, and then I'll buy it from you
Same.
and then sell it. Because I'm not a maker. I'm not Martha Stewart. I don't enjoy crafting at all. And so it kind of like made this division between the two of us of like, okay, that's your thing, and I'm going to go with the clothes. And unfortunately, like just a few months in, it was not going to be a good business relationship. And so, yeah, the split happened and we went our separate ways, and I ran with the clothesline and just kind of ran it how I wanted to, which honestly, to be totally transparent, I'm an only child. I like things my way. Okay. And
That's the truth.
I don't know that I was ever meant to do business with someone. I like input, but at the end of the day, I like to be able to make my own decisions. And so I think it was just like God's protection for me that the clothesline was meant to be mine.
Mhm.
And so yeah, how did we get here? I don't remember what your
I
question was.
asked why you started the boutique in the beginning.
Okay, well, 3 hours later, that's fine.
No, I have a
Um,
personality that's very similar to yours. I have 2 older brothers, but there was like a 3-4 year gap in between us. So I was like my own little self, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
understand.
But really, I started it because for independence.
Yep.
Like I wanted to be able to be more than just a stay-at-home mom. Like I love my kids, but
Yes.
Lord knows I am not meant to be a stay-at-home mother. I love them, but I needed another purpose. And I also, in the back of my mind, needed to be able to contribute something to my family without having to go out of the home to work. And so that's really what my drive was.
So just from watching over the years, I know that you've had numerous moves. How many moves have you had now?
5.
5. That's just a few.
It's several. And you know, when people look on the outside, they're like, what is she doing? Like, where is she at now? I can't even tell you how many times Google is probably like, how many times is she going to change her address on here? But listen, when you're following God's plan and his journey for your life and your business, sometimes on the outside, it looks crazy. But all along, like I was listening to him and he was pivoting me and protecting me, and his guidance is ultimately what led me here. And although it has been 5 moves, every time we've moved, it's been a better opportunity for us to ultimately lead me to where I am now, to where I feel like this is where we were meant to be the whole time. He had just you know, move some things and arrange and orchestrate some things for us to be able to be here.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, it's been 5, but
Who's counting?
who's counting?
So that's what I was going to ask next is this like, when you started off, was this the goal? Was this to be like on Main Street, storefront, corner building, beautiful location? Or like now that you've got here, do you feel like, okay, this is home. This is where I've been trying to get to?
Yes. However, I didn't like have this vision.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just proof that God doesn't always give you what you ask for. But I think it's because, you know, his plan is always better than ours.
Right.
And I could not have even imagined this, because it's a better plan than I could have ever come up with on my own.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I thought that for the longest time that I just wanted to be online. And that wasn't what brought me joy. Like, people are what bring me joy. And without the people, what's it for?
Right.
And so I needed a storefront. Of course, downtown ultimately was my goal, which is what the first location down here got my foot in the door. But I mean, when I was offered the opportunity to be here, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's not a better spot in town. Like,
No.
I mean, it just proves that his plan is always better than ours.
Right.
And yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's go back to 2020. You were in the business complex at that point, right? Kind of by Wendy's.
Oh, the dungeon, you mean?
The dungeon. Yes. So that's when I first heard of you, saw you on
Yeah.
Facebook, just from like people sharing and whatnot. And like, I hate to think about 2020 because cringe. But in retail, I think a lot of weird things happened that year.
Mhm.
So there was all of the free money that was out in 2020. So did you see like increase in sales? Did you see anything that like correlated with all of that free money at that time?
You get asked that question a lot, like especially around that time.
Yes.
Like, how is that affecting your business? Well, it didn't really, because if anything, it helped grow my business. I didn't get any of the free money because I didn't qualify for it. The reason I didn't.
Oh no, I meant like the free money going into your consumer's hands, not your hands.
Oh, okay.
Like buying habits. Sorry, I didn't
Yeah.
clarify that very good.
But still, like I didn't, because I didn't qualify for it, because number one, I had built my business online. So it was a very easy transition for me.
Right.
But our business grew so much because, you know, everybody was home.
Right.
And everybody was on their phone, and social media, I think, really exploded again because of what was going on in the world.
There's nothing else to do.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of other things happened around that time for growth for me, that like I figured out kind of like what my brand was, and a lot of things happened personally for me that helped grow my business.
Right.
But I mean, there was just a lot of things that contributed to it.
Yeah, for sure. So now that it's been 4 years, 3.5, depending on which way you want to look at it, since then, do you see like, has there been a big change in spending habits now? Or do you like, because of how you've promoted your business and how you've grown it, it's pretty much stayed like strong and steady?
I mean, with business, you have ups and downs.
Right.
I mean, there's
I know.
some days where you're like, woo, we're killing it. And then the next day you're like, oh my gosh, what are we doing? You know, it's like such a emotional roller coaster. I think what makes people shop here is the relationship that I've built.
Yeah.
And really being transparent about my life and my business, and just like incorporating me as a human being into my business is what makes our sales what they are.
Right.
Like, everyone can sell clothes, okay? And you can get clothes anywhere. You can get the clothes I carry anywhere online.
For sure.
There's a reason that people come here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I've really strived to build.
Mm-hmm.
Did that answer your question?
Yeah, it makes sense. It's not so much like when I open up my mailbox and I get the piece of clothing out of poly mailer. It's more like when I come in here and I feel welcomed, I feel loved, I feel like you guys truly care about me and me being a customer.
But even our people that aren't local that we do ship to, I mean, they follow me.
Right.
I show them my life. I show them when I'm having down days. And so they feel like they know me because they do know me.
Right.
And so when they get a package in the mail, it's like from me.
Right.
Like, and you know, Mandy's really good about, and I just really stress to my employees, like, if you're going to ship out something, write a note.
Yes,
like,
always.
I don't care how big we get. I don't care how many packages we send out. I always want the person that's on the other end of that money made a difference here.
For sure.
And that's even not online or in store. Like, we try to give everybody the same experience.
Yeah, completely. That makes sense. So over the last, when did you start?
2018.
2018, you said that. Okay,
Yeah.
so over the last 6 years, there had to be some times where we had to like reassess and pivot. By we, I mean you, not me.
Yeah, do you have all day? Like,
I mean, you said we open at 11, so
Yeah.
we've got about an hour.
Okay.
So can you like walk us through maybe a couple of them or as many of them as you want?
Yes. So probably like the biggest pivoting moment in my business was actually when I thought I was going to go out of business.
Okay. Elaborate.
I closed my doors. Like, I liquidated.
When was that?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. So what location would have you been
The
at?
Energy Building.
Okay.
I had a friend.
I remember that now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a friend who lived in Texas who did insurance, and I mean, she was making really good money, like 10, 15,000 a month, good money. And you know, in business where you're like, wow, I've worked a really long time for free. Maybe I should do something now that actually makes money. So again, I think that sometimes is Satan's tool, that you're tempted by money. And I was, and I got my insurance license. How I passed it, I have no idea. Now I just have my insurance license. Like, cool.
Now what?
So you have your insurance license.
Yeah, so I have my insurance license, and I really thought that I was going to do something with it. I mean, I set up my office, like the company was legit. I mean, it was actually a product that I believed in, and I thought this is great. But I quickly realized that was not for me. I'm very much too outgoing. I love people, and I just couldn't stay away from the clothesline, even though I told everybody I was going out of business, I'm still ordering stuff for me and then being like, well, I have, 5 left. So anybody want them, And then it just like continued. I just started back up. Like everyone was like, wait, I thought you were going out of business. I'm like, actually, no.
Just kidding.
Yeah. So yeah, that just is kind of how that happened. I can't even really explain like the process of it, but it was just a detour, I think.
Stepping stone.
Yeah. But what in that time, I think the most beautiful thing that came out of that was my identity.
Okay.
Because, I had like a clear vision of where I wanted my business to go and like who I was. I think he had to like pull me out of it for a minute to clear the air for me to get what I needed to move forward. I hired Katie Anderson. I don't know if she's still up here, but she's in Arizona now. She took me to my future self, like 5-10 years from now. What I look like, what I was dressed like. I mean, I could see me. And that gave me, again, just a really clear vision of who I was and where I wanted to go.
Oh, for sure. So like right on that little conversation we had, you teared up a little bit.
Yeah.
And it made me smile, not for a weird reason, but just because like I also had a retail business at one time and it becomes part of you.
I followed your boutique also.
Yeah.
Like there's so many things that are, again, just like an emotional roller coaster, and I call them growing pains.
Right.
Like sometimes you're up and sometimes you're down, and like my down times is where I learn the most.
Yeah. And I still call Rusty Soul my third child.
Yeah.
Like it was a child of mine because I built it from like $125 and sold it. And yeah, that was my third baby. And sometimes it's like, I get a little sad sometimes when I'm like, oh, it's not mine anymore. But it was the right move for me to let it go to somebody else. So yeah. So I've kept up with the industry, obviously. Like I still love shopping. I still love clothes. I like the retail industry. I have lots of friends in it still. But I'm wondering, what do you see right now that's like the biggest problem retail as an industry as a whole is facing right now?
I think, I don't know, that's hard to answer in like one thing.
You can do 2.
But or 3 or 4. One, I think the market is saturated. Like, I think that boutiques kind of became like a fad.
Well, they're not hard to start.
No, they're not.
They're not hard to start.
And I get it. Like, people want to do it for the same reason I did. Like, you want to make money from home. But the difference is a brand. Like, anybody can sell clothes.
Right.
It takes someone business minded and like, I don't know what the other word is, but like to build a brand. And again, you can find these clothes anywhere. What makes them mine? Like what makes them different? That I think is just saturated.
Right.
2, I mean, let's be honest, Amazon, Shein, Temu, like none of that helps any of us. Okay. And for a moment we all fear, like, okay, what's going to happen? Okay, well, there's 2 kinds of customers. Yes. People who are okay with chemical, infused material from wherever and fast throwaway disposable fashion. And then there's another customer base that sees the value in shopping small, who sees the value in quality clothing and the reason behind the business. So I guess to answer it in like short form, that would be it's too saturated. And, the biggest problem is your online competitors, really.
Yeah. And I have a problem with the whole Shein Temu thing. Because one, like you said, the chemicals, like it's not safe for you.
I have pictures of people with rashes.
Yes.
Like, it's not good.
No, it's not. And then, there's the other side of it of, there's like 5-year-old little children that are making these clothes and my mom heart can't handle that. And then there's the infringement and this plain stealing.
Right.
That's the part that I have the hardest with,
Right.
is where,
Mhm.
hey, let's take Kayla's picture and let's crop Mandy's head off of it. And then I'm going to slap it on my website and call it my
Yeah.
own.
And then you think that you're getting what's in the picture.
Exactly.
But then you get the product and it's nothing like it.
No,
It's a problem.
it is a problem.
I guess third problem for me would also be TikTok.
Really?
Because it's instant gratification. It's you're swiping, you're easily like you're constantly influenced by something, and people are only buying stuff because everybody else is buying it. And like the whole shopping dynamic on TikTok is like a world I don't understand.
And they also know exactly what you like.
Yeah.
So of course it pops up.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
you're like, ooh.
Yeah. And it just removes the relationship and the connection. And like, why do we do so well on Black Friday? Well, I feel like it's because Walmart, a week before Black Friday, has all their stuff online. No one gets to actually wait in line and grab the stuff, and everybody's like, it's the experience of it. And I think that that's the like upper hand that small businesses have, is we get to give the experience.
Right.
Whereas Walmart, Amazon, Shein, they don't get that.
Mhm.
You get a package in the mail. You don't get a handwritten note. You don't get to know where it came from. You don't get to see a human being wearing it. Like, so many things.
So many things.
How long do you want me to stand up here and preach about this?
Hey, I mean, we can make it a two-parter. I mean, I have no problem with that.
It's a problem.
So you guys are in a brand new building, and it's gorgeous, and you haven't even had your grand opening yet.
Yeah,
We
we
did.
had it Saturday.
You had it Saturday. I thought it was next Saturday. I read
No.
wrong. I
Okay,
apologize.
no, we had it Saturday.
And how did that go?
Wonderful.
Good.
Yes, we had so much fun. I'm always
Mhm.
overwhelmed with like the support of our community. I mean, we live in a small town, and the people that consistently show up for us,
Mhm.
like, again, I had somebody tell me one time that the clothesline is like a cult. And I mean, if you want to feel that way, I guess you're not wrong. Like,
A good cult, not bad cult.
right.
Correct.
Yeah, we are a very, like, again, just a community of women who I'm very passionate about, and they show up for me,
Right. for sure.
and I don't feel like you get that anywhere else. Like,
Mhm.
Gillette's amazing.
It is.
Mhm.
Yeah. Gillette's a pretty cool community. But what was in here before was a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, when I walked in, there's like little hand notes on the windows that saying, hey, they moved.
Yeah,
It's a new business in here. But I think what you guys did was genius, because you took the fact that there was going to be confusion and maybe people don't know where they moved to, and you like took it and ran with it.
Mhm.
So would you like to tell me like what you did?
I can't take credit for that because that's Lacey.
Okay, well, you guys worked together.
Yes. So Lacey had a vision for like a grab and go area, for like people that work at the bank downtown. That like if you're like me, you're like, okay, we're either not eating today or we got to go find something.
Mhm.
But she has like sandwiches and wraps and to-go parfaits and energy drinks and protein bars, and just like this area where it's just like the local to go,
Right.
which is so brilliant.
It is.
But it played like in my favor because my business isn't just about selling clothes.
No.
I call this like my ministry. This is the tool that I use to spread the word of God and to create community. And I wanted so badly in my space to have somewhere for people to gather and to feel like they can stay here.
Yeah. And it's not just come in, shop,
Yeah.
grab your crap and go.
Yes.
Stuff.
Like, you're welcome
Purchases.
here. And
Beautiful things.
yes. You're welcome here.
Yeah.
And I want you to stay here. And I want you to feel like if you need somewhere to come, our doors are open to you.
Right.
And who can shop when they're hungry? Like, I mean,
I can.
it's like I probably do more damage.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I got addicted to dirty sodas.
We all did.
And so then I was just like, you know what? Let's have a dirty soda bar because nobody else in town is doing it. And, I mean, it's just fun.
Yeah.
It's about the experience.
For sure.
You can buy clothes anywhere. You can go to Marshall's. You can go to Walmart. You can go anywhere and buy clothes. But like, you can't go somewhere where you have a human being greet you, ask if you want something to drink, style you, help you try
Right.
clothes on. I mean, we really do offer more than just clothes. It's a service here. And we really are passionate about that.
For sure. So not only do we have the local in here, we have the Clothesline Boutique in here,
Mhm.
but Mandy, you also have some stuff in here too, don't you?
I do.
Can you tell us about that?
So I started Whistling Dixie Boutique in 2017, I believe. Mostly just for the discount for myself.
Let's be honest.
Because I have a shopping problem.
I think it all starts there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, actually, I think we started because we're shopaholics.
That's really it. And I did clothing, and I also have the jewelry, J Bloom jewelry, and tumblers. I personalize the jewelry, the tumblers, whatever. So when I started working for Kayla, a little over a year ago, I kind of downsized the clothing part of it and pretty much just do the jewelry now.
Cool.
But she graciously lets me have my jewelry in here.
It's because I don't do jewelry.
She does not.
Jewelry's not my thing.
Not at all.
She's always like, you need a necklace. I'm like, I got one. Right here, my permanent jewelry. I never take
She
them
is
off.
getting better though.
Yeah.
That's how I am with this one. It never comes off either.
So I was just like, hey, you really love to do the jewelry, and that's something that I get overwhelmed by.
Right.
And I'm just not like a jewelry person. And it just was such a great mix. I mean, she
kind of like us.
Yeah. She took a huge stress off of me, honestly. And Mandy loves to run the store. And
I do.
I'm like the most introverted extrovert you've ever met.
Yes.
Like, I love people, but I feel like if I come to the store and I work a solid like 1-2 days, I need like 2 days to reprieve. And so it's such a good mix between the two of us to where like online is kind of my thing, and she really loves the store. And so it's just like the perfect duo.
It is.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, that's good that you can like both maximize on your strengths and work together. And yeah, it sounds like it's really, really good relationship.
It is.
Okay, so let's talk about being on Main Street.
Yeah.
So we're on Main Street. We got like 2 beautiful corner windows in this lovely store. I want to hear about the crazies.
What do you,
The crazies.
Again, do you have all day?
what do you mean? Like the lady that was walking by with a Bible up in her hand, like,
Well, I don't mean like her
preaching?
specifically. I mean
like those
I need
crazies,
some
or, like,
stories about like, the person that comes in and is like swatting at the flies or something.
Oh, that lady, yeah.
Okay,
Like,
well,
she stood on the corner, and I mean, she was preaching, and I was listening.
I didn't see that
You
one.
didn't?
Uh-uh.
We don't get that many.
We don't?
I
Really
mean, no. I mean, you have a few every now and then, but Gillette's pretty clean. I mean, I don't know. We just don't.
Yeah, I can't think of really
Mm-mm.
much craziness
Mm-mm.
other than us.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows to stay away from here because they're like, nobody can out crazy them.
Right.
So. No, we don't get a lot down here. I think that Gillette Main Street, just like the actual downtown Gillette Main Street, I don't know what you call it,
Committee.
keep it.
Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah,
Thank
they keep it very
Clean.
just clean, and we don't have crime, like, no.
Well, the ice cream cafe did have the lady run through the
Yeah.
window.
She mistaked
We
the
almost
gas
had
for the
that.
break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We almost had that last week.
We did.
That happened to
But-
the post office in Rosette too.
Oh man.
That was a doozy.
I did see that.
It was a mail order bride that was getting taught how to drive.
Oh,
And she just like whop straight through the building. One of the doors still isn't right to this day.
nice.
Mhm.
I can't judge because I'm the worst driver
Yeah.
ever. And everyone's always like, you're always videoing, like I'm just like talking as I'm driving. People are like, that's so dangerous. I'm like, you're right.
But I'm busy.
I'm busy. I'm
There's lots of things to
multitasking.
do.
Yeah, for
Lots
sure.
of things
Yeah.
to do.
When I had it out of my house.
Okay.
So back then I didn't have, it was in my bedroom. Like I had like one clothes rack and I had all of my packing stuff. And so I would go live, I would come back in, hand invoice everybody. As people were paying, I was like packaging orders and I didn't have like a label printer. So I was just like writing labels and, you're just busy. And I think it was like 2 a.m. And I looked up from packaging orders. Do you remember the crisscross tank tops?
Yes.
I sold truckloads of
Yes.
those. And so, packaging, and I look up, literally buried him. And I remember just like scooping them away from him, like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, but like, I think at that point I was like, we got to do something. I can't do it out of here anymore. But the apartment above our garage didn't have heat or electricity. Like I remember going live up there. I should find one. You can actually see the breath as I'm selling because it's so cold up there. But it was the only place that I had where my husband like made me a backdrop and it was like looked professional, you know, for me to whatever. But yeah, anyways, that is a story that sticks out to me.
What about the blooper when you were trying stuff on? That's a good one.
That one is a good one. Yeah. I was doing a Valentine's Day live. I had like foil heart balloons on the wall as my backdrop. And as I'm changing clothes, I get a text message on my phone that says, I can see the reflection of your butt in one of the hearts. And I was like, I mean, at this point, I've gone live so many times that it's just kind of like, like, I mean, didn't anyone really see it? And if they did, like, whatever, there's nothing you can do about it at this point. And, but yeah, I did have to go back and like zoom in to see if it was real. I couldn't see it, but apparently somebody saw it. I'm like, at this point, nothing embarrasses me.
I love it. Facebook Lives. They are a beast.
It's raw. Like you can't do anything about it. If you like, I was telling you earlier, like I named a shirt the Pink V, didn't think anything of it. And everyone else is just like, you know. But what do? You're live. Like, you can't edit it out.
Like whatever comes out of your mouth comes out of your mouth.
Yep.
See, I had my live station like down in our basement. And I remember one time I sent the kids upstairs to go get in the shower, in the bath, right before I went live. And I'm like, perfect. I'll be able to whip this out really quick. Hopefully they'll be fine. They were old enough that they wouldn't drown. I'm not that bad of a mom. But all of a sudden, I think it was Oakley or Hazen. They came downstairs and they're like headed straight towards me with nothing on. Butt naked and dripping wet. And I'm like, as fast as I could get out without tripping over a course. And I'm like, you need to go upstairs now.
Yes. Running a business with kids around is a whole nother circus.
It is, because they don't get it. They don't get like, hey, I am working. You can't come up in here right now.
Hey guys, we're going to jump into an ad really quick. A couple of years ago, my husband and I decided that we just had too much going on and that we needed help cleaning the house. And at that time, we decided to outsource the cleaning, and it was one of the best decisions that we have made. Well, I personally have seen what a good job that Tristan does with Welcome Home Cleaning, that if you are looking for somebody to help take some of the load off of your back, she is your girl. She services the Gillette, Wyoming area. Not only does she does residential, she does commercial properties, she does rentals, move in, move out. She does it all. Her and her team will take care of you and get your house, your business, whatever you need looking amazing. So if you need to outsource the cleaning like we did, give her a call, 307-660-7808, and tell her that Haley with Brassy Business Podcast sent you.
When I quit doing my business out of my house, I had to go down to the store like at night, like late at night, to do them. And I can't remember, one night my husband was working out of town or something, so I needed to do a live, so I was doing it in the living room. Well, my son had let our dog and our cat in. Like the cat got inside and then the dog found out that the cat was inside. And the whole time I'm like, because I can't do anything.
No,
it's just like chaos in my house. And I'm like, all right, everybody's just gonna have to hang on for a minute like, while I get this under control. But I think that, again, that's just like the transparency and the part that reminds people that you're human.
Right.
And people, that's relatable. Like, people want to know that you're like them, that you have chaos like them, you know? So I never was like embarrassed by it. It is what it is. It's my life. This is real life. People like to see behind the scenes, and sometimes it's just chaos. So
yes, it is. So social media is such a big part, especially of retail, in my opinion. What do you do that really promotes you on social? And which ones do you lean to?
Facebook is where my biggest following is.
Okay.
Although every time I travel and someone's like, oh, I like your shirt, I'm like, cool, do you follow us on Facebook? They're like, Facebook? That's like the dinosaur of social media, you know? But I'm like, that's just where my following is.
Yeah.
So I run with Facebook. I do have a following on TikTok, but again, it's like an alien world to me. I never thought I would say this, but I think I'm too old for it. I just don't get it. Like, I just don't get it. But what really promotes me, I think, is my consistency.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I post 5 times a day every 2 hours.
Oh my goodness.
And I don't care, like, if that's too much or not. It's what works for me. And I mean, I spend hours scheduling.
Yes, you do. That's what I said, oh my goodness, about, because no, not that you're posting that much. That's probably like the perfect amount. The fact that you're doing it that much, like that's a lot of work on your end. People don't realize that.
No.
It is so much.
I spend probably at least an hour to 2 hours a day just creating content. And, you know, all of the captions and all the things like come out of this brain, okay? And sometimes it's difficult. So now I like with AI, it's so cool because even though I don't like use all of their wording, sometimes it just like sparks my creativity of like, okay, I can run with that. But yeah, I mostly use Facebook.
Yeah.
And again, just being transparent, like I use Instagram stories a lot because that's where I can be me and show a little bit of everything.
Right. So your transparency has really, really like heightened up the like, no trust factor.
For sure.
That's what make people go to you because you are so transparent with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I think the other big social media kick for you is our app.
Okay.
Is very quick, to the point, detailed on size, how it fits, what size she's wearing, so people can actually see her in it and know how it would fit on them.
Right.
And it's not a long, drawn-out video. It's just to the point, and I think that one's huge too.
This is what it is. This is what size I'm wearing. I think you should size up or down. Like it makes the shopping online or the online shopping experience different from anywhere else.
Yes.
Because where else can you like see it on and you moving in it? And so really, I mean, I use Comment Sold. I love Comment Sold. And they host our app.
Yep.
And so it just makes it seamless for us that like, no matter if you're on the website or the app, you can see pictures and videos and it's just
shop directly from the app.
Right.
Our app, I love that you mentioned that because that was huge for us.
And that app will also link with Facebook if you do live still, correct?
Yeah, I don't do that because of Facebook's algorithm.
Okay.
They want to make money.
They do.
Yes, they do.
And so if you're not, you know, if Comment Sold is someone making money and you're, you know, I don't know, it's a whole thing. But yeah, I don't do it. I don't do a ton of Facebook Lives anymore.
Okay.
I think that again, because of like TikTok, the instant like swipe, your attention is only about 7 seconds. A Facebook Live, people just don't have the time for it or the attention span for it. So I utilize stories again for short video.
Right. Yep. That makes sense. So you started in 2018, right? So you've been in business for 6 years now. You could go back to when baby Kayla was just starting and be like, girlfriend, I'm going to give you some advice that I think would really help you. What would it be?
Brand yourself from the very beginning.
Okay.
Do the research it's a personal journey. It really is. Because a boutique is so much a reflection of the owner. So if you don't know who you are, that's going to reflect in your business.
Right.
Like I did that in the beginning. I bought what you liked and what she liked and trying to just like, I mean, any customer is a customer at that point. And so I would say to do the personal work that needs to be done to really figure out who you are and what your style is, which I say that, but then I'm like, do you really know what your style is?
And sometimes people don't. Sometimes they need to be told like, hey, this is your body style and this shirt is going to look really good on you versus something that's super tight or fitted or whatever, because everybody's body style is different.
I'm more like, I don't really fit into a style.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I am very much like Chelsea DeBoer. I like studs and fringe and like kind of edgy. And then other times I lean more Western. Like that's where kind of my history where I grew up. I mean, I grew up on a ranch. So like I'm naturally drawn to like turquoise and stuff. But I've like learned how to intermix all of that to make Kayla's style. And then what I did was ran with that. And the people that like what I like started following me. That's how you get actual customers, like longevity.
Right.
Where you find your people. And that's what a boutique should be. Like, that's what I always say. Like, no one should be competition for you. If you are running your boutique the way you like your style and who you are, it should be a reflection of that. And no one else is going to do it the way you do it. So if you're doing it right, nobody should be competition for you. Stay on brand, like figure out what your brand is and then run with that.
So you brought up competition. So I'm going to run with that.
Oh, yeah.
So we've already talked about the boutique world may be slightly oversaturated. So how do you deal with trying to not like get into competition, or there are certain like online groups and whatnot that are like specifically for boutique owners? Do you ever go into them? Do you just like put your blinders on and do your own little thing, or?
Well, I'm part of the Boutique Hub, which I think is a great resource. I try to keep my blinders on for the most part. A couple of reasons. One, if you try to follow what's trending, you will exhaust yourself.
Oh my gosh, it's so exhausting. It changes like every 5
Yeah,
minutes.
because by the time you get it figured out, it's onto something else, and it's just a waste to me. Again, I don't deal with like cattiness. I don't deal with mean girls. I think I just got to the point where I was confident enough in my business and myself that I just quit caring.
Right.
Like, if Joe Blow down the street wants to carry what I'm carrying, fine.
You're not me.
It's not going to affect me. Like, I'm at that point where it just doesn't affect me. I'm not going to lose customers because she has what I have.
Right.
Like, in the beginning it bothered me. Yeah. And when people are like blatantly copying you, that is annoying.
It's so frustrating.
It is. Because just because it sells good for me does not mean it's going to sell good for you. But again, I was guilty of that in the beginning too, because I was trying to find who I was. And of course you need to make money, like trying to sell stuff that sells. And so you see someone else selling it, but you can't do that forever. No. Like, you have to put in the work, and that's ultimately what will make your business successful.
For sure. So you brought up the cattiness, and I think that maybe in the boutique world more than others, you have like mean girl clubs. Have you ever had to deal with that?
Several times. And again, sometimes I feel like it boils down to insecurity. Like, what, you can't clap for people? Like, come on. And just because you think it's perfect for me on the outside, you have no idea what goes on behind closed doors and the battles that I fight every day. So for you to be like jealous or insecure, like, and be catty is kind of, to me, just, I don't know what the word, I'm not good with words sometimes. It's obnoxious. It's ridiculous. We can all win. There's room for everyone. I live in a town of 30,000 people, for crying out loud. And I always tell people, there's a reason that Walmart, Albertsons, Dawn's Supermarket, how are they still in business if Walmart's
coffee shops? For sure.
Two Starbucks are here, Three?
There's one in the hospital.
One in Albertsons.
And Albertsons. There's 4.
Yeah, so I'm like, there's a reason that you shop at Walmart. There's a reason you shop at Albertsons, okay? There's room for everybody.
Room for everybody at the table. Correct. That's funny that you said that, because our very first guest that we had, she's from Gillette also, and she said the same exact thing. So I think that that's kind of like a pivoting point in your entrepreneurship journey, is to realize that, like, to set the cattiness beside, the competition beside, and be like, hey, like you said, there were 30,000 people in this town. There's a lot of people. We're not ginormous by any means, but there's room for everybody if we can all just get along.
If you stay true to your brand. But let me tell you, the boutiques that I had an issue with years ago are no longer here.
Yeah.
And I don't wish ill upon anyone. And I don't want to say like, oh, ha, you went out of business. Okay, that's not who I am to say that. But also, like, I would have taught you everything I know. Like,
she would have.
I have a passion for helping women figure it out.
Right.
And if I can save you all the steps to figure it out just by like offering my advice or what I've learned to save you in the long run, like, I would have done that. But again, I think it's just like women are scared to even talk to each other. It's so weird to me.
And I think sometimes people see people like you or me or whatever, and they're intimidated. Yeah. And they see this person that, they go and they do these things and they have these businesses, and they're like, oh my gosh, like they don't have time for me. They'll never approach me. So what would you say to somebody that maybe has that mentality, that's afraid to approach another woman and ask for advice?
My advice would be just be brave. Like, I mean, I have reached out to one specific boutique in town when I first kind of started,
Mhm.
and because I felt like she was promoting, like, women support women. And when I approached her, it was very like, I had to figure it out, so can you. And so I was like, wow, okay, well, I guess won't ask her again, and I think that you can make an assumption about people on the outside. Like, I mean, I don't know, do I have RBF?
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
I'm not a friend. I do not have a friendly face.
Right. And so people are like, ugh, I don't know if I should talk to her. But like, I love people,
Mhm.
and I truly like to help people.
Right.
And so,
No matter what it is.
yeah, it doesn't hurt to ask.
Right.
Like, the only thing you're gonna get is no.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta reach out. I mean, but also I've kind of gotten to the point too where my time is valuable.
Very.
And so you have to, in my opinion, be willing to accept advice and want to put the work in. I can't do it for you.
I cannot do it for you.
And I don't have time for it either. Like, I want to see you succeed, but if you don't want to see yourself succeed, then we're both wasting each other's time.
With me, it's more, you need to make an actual effort to get a hold of me. Do not shoot me a message on Facebook. My cell phone number is all over the internet. If you want to talk to me, either find me in person, call me, text me, but please, for the life of me, do not shoot me a message on Facebook, because in my opinion, that's the lazy way.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to ask for my help, you need to actually want to do it and put an effort in to get a hold of me.
You're going to love this. Please don't message me and ask me where I buy my clothes from. Like, I mean, honestly, I would probably just tell you, because, again, I don't care. But that's not what it's about either. Like, I mean, I will tell you how to, and like, but
Find your identity first.
Yeah.
Well, you need to put some of the work in before you ask for help.
Yes.
So I will not help you build your business from the ground up. You have got to put some work in and have some skin in the game before you come to me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to do it for you. Like we just said, you need to do something. If you are like, hey, I am looking for a good brand of denim that has a little bit of stretch and lots of different variations in styles and whatnot, absolutely, let's talk. You know, I've gone through these different brands, and I know that I like this brand over this brand. This one has too much give in it, and I don't think wears very good. But you got to come with me with like something specific.
Or like, if you want, like, how to go to market.
Yes.
How to shop market. Like, I'm open with all of that, but it's more than just where I get my clothes from.
Yes.
Way more.
Yeah. So I don't love that question. I get it often.
Do you?
Yeah. And it's fine. Like, okay, you need a good t-shirt vendor, like, I'll tell you, but it's not going to do you any good to order from the places I order from if your business structure and your brand is not established. Because how do you even know that the t-shirts I'm selling are even what
your customers want? Or
even you.
Right.
Like, I don't know. So, rabbit hole. But
that is rabbit.
She does that a lot.
So do I. It's fine. Squirrel.
There's so much going on.
There is. There's so many thoughts. So many thoughts in your head. So who's your ideal customer then? Because we kind of talked about branding. Mandy, you're
buy a lot.
Let's go. Right here is the ideal customer. I mean, we've talked about branding. We've talked about how you've like incorporated your I don't know what I'm trying to say right now, like your Western side with your more edgy side and whatnot. So do you have like an ideal customer that you buy for, or do you buy for yourself and then you found customers that have similar styles as you?
I kind of do a little bit of both.
Okay.
I mean, obviously I have to like it. I have to wear it. And I don't like to lie to people. Like, if I don't like it, I don't like it.
Right.
And I can't hide that I don't like it. I do buy for myself, but my ideal customer is someone like me who, I mean, I'm not a stylish, like, I don't know how to style things like not weirdly, but like different, I don't know. I don't think outside of the box when it comes to style. Like, I wear things as they were meant to be worn.
Yes.
I think that there's a lot of pressure on women to get dressed. I mean,
you should see my pile in my bathtub.
like trying to figure out what shoes and what
Uh-huh.
shoes go with these pants and what necklace to wear and how to wear this jacket. Like there's just so much, and I like to uncomplicate that. It's okay to be simple.
Right.
Like I think that being casual and simple is cute. I mean, a cute shirt and a cute pair of jeans,
I
little
agree.
necklace, like I'm good with it. And I'm the graphic tee queen. And if anyone ever tells me that graphic tees are not an outfit,
They will never go out of style.
leave me
ever.
alone.
Ever.
Because it's who I am.
Uh-huh.
I like to be comfortable. I don't want to be uncomfortable. I like style to be easy. It's simple, but also for women who have diverse style like me, who I don't fit into a box. And I like to mix it up. And so I think that like my business appeals to a lot of people because of that, because it doesn't matter who you are, there's something for you here.
Mm-hmm. So you guys did something genius, not just one thing, but this thing I absolutely love. You have a rack in the back.
Yeah.
What's on it?
That's the Shopaholics rack.
The Shopaholics rack.
Yeah. My closet was not meant for someone who owns a clothing store. And I tell my husband that all the time. I'm like, can't we just move the shower and like blow the closet into the bathroom? Or one of the kids needs to move out because I need a bigger closet. We clean out our closets regularly because we wear what we sell.
Right.
And I mean, I wear what I sell. Mandy just has a shopping problem.
Don't tell my husband.
Oh, he knows.
He does.
He knows.
He's very well
You
aware.
ain't fooling anybody.
He told me that he was going to close all my accounts at the bank if I didn't quit ordering shoes in a size 5.5. But we clean out our closets often, and so I'm like, I don't have time to like take this to back to the rat or like wherever,
Right.
you know. And so I'm like, we just started a rack in the back of our closet and
And
sell
it
it.
goes really well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because most of it is boutique items, good quality. We just
Worn a couple times.
We just need to make room for new items that we have.
Let's be honest, that whole rack back there is Mandy's.
Not all.
Yeah, it is.
75% ish.
I haven't cleaned out my closet for a hot minute, but
I just did.
But like, what a great way. Like, you don't have to deal with the hassle of selling it online.
Yeah.
And then
no.
you have customers that come in and maybe they got a jacket and the shirt that they need is perfect and it's right there and it's the only one that's left.
and it's
because-
discounted. Like it's thrifty.
Exactly.
Like we have some thrifties that love that back
Yeah.
there. And
Mhm.
I think some people come in just for that
Mhm.
sometimes.
and then we recoup our money to buy more.
Exactly.
It's a win-win.
It's justified.
Everybody wins.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Well, is there anything else that you guys want to talk about today? Anything that came up?
I think one thing is the community downtown.
Okay.
All of the other mostly women-owned small businesses down here, we have joined together as just a fun group.
Uh-huh.
We do events together. We encourage each other. It is so good.
I really love that you brought that up because like Prairie Mercantile across the street, like we love them.
Tara and Tommy.
Yeah, we've been doing like a poker run and including everybody. So it like encourages, they have to shop at other businesses to collect a card to get a 5-card hand, you know, and then you win a $25 gift card to every business that participated. Just doing little events like that it's like we utilize each other's customer base.
Yeah.
And downtown Gillette is such an experience. Like it's something to do. And, you know, we live in Gillette. There's not a lot to do here. But getting a friend and coming down and having lunch at the local and then walking around and going to the White Cabinet and going to Vintage Twine and going like all of these places that are here,
Mm-hmm.
it's like an all afternoon deal.
It is. And it's only 3 blocks. So it's not
Right.
like
Yeah.
you're having to
Right.
truck through a whole mall or
For
something.
sure.
You park your car, you hit them all.
Yep.
Exactly.
Another cool thing, Tammy that owns the White Cabinet,
Okay.
I've loved her forever. Like she shopped with me and that's how I met
Yep.
her. But just to give you an example, I am not good at merchandising. Okay. Like the storefront, it's difficult for me. Putting racks together and putting the front table together. Like my brain just doesn't, I'm very type A. Like everything has its place and I'm not good at doing that. Tammy, really good at that. Tammy also not good at social media. I'm good at social media. So like Tammy will come up every now and then when I'm feeling like not inspired and she will help me rearrange the store and do fixtures differently, and she's just she has an interior design brain,
Yeah.
and so she's just really good at that. So we use each other's strengths to help each other.
Right.
This is such a community down here, and I would say probably 90% of the businesses down here are women owned, and that is badass too.
It is.
Like, I mean, Rapscallions, the barbershop, I mean, he's, you know, owned by a man, but like 90% of the businesses down here are women owned.
Yeah. Now that you say that, I'm running them through my mind, and they are.
And that to me is a movement. Like,
It is.
So we love to be a part of it. There's nowhere else in Gillette that you can get this.
Oh, for sure.
Everywhere else is just very like corporate.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think a lot of people now are seeing the meaning and the value in shopping small.
Yeah. Well, and like if we double back on the whole Shein Temu thing, like it's being shown that you need to support your small businesses, because if not, big guys like these are going to come in and where are you going to go at lunch? You know, you work downtown. Justin works at the bank, and where's he going to go when he needs a sandwich?
Right.
Like, I mean, yes, you can DoorDash it, but the dollars spent in your community, I think people are finally being awakened to how important it is.
Well, I mean, if you're going to come into a small business and ask for a sponsorship for your kid's baseball team or something, you have to remember where that money is coming from.
Yes.
Like, if you're taking your kids out of town to go school clothes shopping, or you need an outfit for a wedding and you're ordering online before you check your small businesses, I'm sorry, but you can't go ask those small businesses for donations.
No.
Like, but I think people are really starting to understand that the money that they pour in gets poured back.
It does.
And it's taken a while. I think, again, I think, you know, 2020 didn't help any, when everyone's just like ordering online, and kind of it got lost because a lot of businesses weren't able to open. Again, thank God I had online.
Right.
And I wasn't afraid to do pickups. Like, I'm not going to tell anyone that you came to pick up your bag.
Right.
Like, I mean, I'm just not a fear-based person, but yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That was a good point. Way to bring that up. High fives. Okay. Well, I want to thank you both so much for taking like over an hour of your time to sit and talk with me. No, it was
we
great.
could do this all day.
I know. I would love to. But thank you for inviting me into your store. It is beautiful in here. If you are local to Gillette, you have to come check out this business. Like, stunning, not just like beautiful, but there's a happy, homey vibe in here. And I think that's what you were going for.
Oh, for sure. That was my main goal, was to make it comfortable. And I want people to feel welcome to come as they are. Like, you don't have to be dressed up to come here. Okay. Like, we've got people that leave the gym and come straight here. I mean, come as you are.
Right.
And I think the fact that you and I and all of our other girls, Irene, Avery, and Abby, we love to be here ourselves. And that is a huge reflection on people that come in here, because they get that from us. I mean, there's times when I'm not even working and I'll spend hours here.
All day yesterday. It's like,
it's
when
just,
you want to be here, you can feel when you walk into somewhere and someone's just helping you because they have to.
Yes.
Like you can feel the passion, and we truly mean it. I mean, we are like the least judgmental, the least like, we're just real. We're just real. And come as you are. We truly want to help people and make you feel good. We want you to leave better than you came.
for sure. Absolutely.
So can you tell everybody where they can find you on social? And if you want to check her out, her website, her Facebook, all of that stuff, they will be linked in the comments. So they can just click.
So our new storefront is located at 300 South Gillette Avenue, right on the corner, downtown Gillette. You can shop with us. Probably the easiest, because you can get to our app and everything from our website, but it's www.yourclothesline.com. And then social media is the Clothesline Boutique. And on Instagram, it's at Your Clothesline.
Okay, perfect. So all of them links will be linked in the comments so that you can go and shop, and we'll put them on Facebook also.
And you can find Mandy's link to her J Bloom. Like I share her stuff on my page all the time. So if you're looking for her, she's on there.
Perfect. Awesome. Yeah. Okay. So that was great.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, ladies. That was perfect.
That's
Perfect.
awesome.
Perfect. So that was an amazing episode. Thank you, Mandy and Kayla, for inviting me in here. The vibe in this boutique is amazing. I cannot wait until I can come in here another time and shop some more. If you have been eyeing my outfit, you know I got it from here. So both the necklace and the shirt are from the Clothesline Boutique, and go get yourself something. So that's all that I have for today's episode. Thank you for joining me. Make sure to follow the show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and look us up on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok under Brassy Business Podcast so we can stay in touch. I'll see you next week.